A married couple are husband and wife. Each is called the spouse of the other. The words for relatives by marriage are the same as with your immediate family, but with in-law added. So, your spouse's father is your father-in-law, and their sister is your sister-in-law. The plural of these forms is sisters-in-law and fathers-in-law. Death and divorce mean that people remarry and have children with a different parent. This parent by marriage is called your stepmother or stepfather. Any children they may already have become your stepbrothers and stepsisters. The children they go on to have with your actual mother or father are your half-brothers or half-sisters. In the IELTS speaking test, it is important to extend your answers. When asked about your family, it's best to reply first by saying who is in your immediate family, as our first speaker did.
My mother is a teacher and my father is an architect. I've got 2 brothers and 1 sister, so that's all the immediate family.
Now listen to how you might develop a longer answer, like this.
My mum was born in Malaysia in a town called Bentong, which is just north of Kuala Lumpur. But her family origin is Sri Lankan Tamil, so racially I guess you'd say they're South Indian, but they migrated to Sri Lanka and then her eldest sister was born in Sri Lanka, but then her family moved to Malaysia and most of the other children were born in Malaysia.
First she says where her mum was born.
My mum was born in Malaysia in a town called Bentong, which is just north of Kuala Lumpur.
But her mother isn't ethnically Malaysian, so she points this out.
But her family origin is Sri Lankan Tamil, so racially I guess you'd say they're South Indian.
She then explains how her mother came to be born in Malaysia.
Her eldest sister was born in Sri Lanka, but then her family moved to Malaysia and most of the other children were born in Malaysia.
When developing your answer, be careful to use the correct prepositions, in or at. You are born in a country and in a town. Listen.
My mum was born in Malaysia in a town called Bentong, which is just north of Kuala Lumpur.
If you decided to say where your parents were educated, you need to say at. My father studied at university. There are many possible questions that can be asked about families. The questions are designed to make you use particular language functions. So, for making comparisons, you may be asked, are nuclear families better than extended families? And for giving an opinion, the examiner might ask, should children always obey their parents? If the examiner asked you, what is the best age to get married? They are expecting you to identify and explain. So it's a good idea to think about possible questions like these and try to make up some more questions yourself. Listen to the way this woman responds to the question, what's a normal family?
I don't think there's any such thing as a normal family. But yeah, my family gets along well. It's got its quirks, but we get along well.
That's challenging the question, which you are allowed to do as long as you justify what you say. When answering questions about family, you need to be able to identify family members and their relationships to one another with the correct words. What family members does this woman mention?
I used to speak Cantonese at home when I was a kid, and then when I went to school, I spoke English with all my friends, and a few of my cousins are here and things, so I spoke English with them as well, and then slowly I lost learning Cantonese, and I can't speak it anymore.
She talked about her cousins, who are the children of her aunts or uncles. You need to have something to say about your family, so be prepared to say where your parents were born or where your brothers or sisters work or study, like this.
My oldest brother studied law at Flinders University in Adelaide and got a job at a law firm in the city where he met his wife. They were married 2 years ago and last year they had their first child. My sister-in-law is expecting another baby. I'm hoping for a nephew this time.
She talked about her oldest brother, his wife, who was also her sister-in-law, and her potential nephew. She said when her brother was married, where he studied and what he does, and even where he met his wife. That's all for now. To find more information